So my name is Tine and I'm from the small town of Sønderborg in southern Denmark. I did my master's in European politics and society at the University of Oxford, and I'm currently doing a PhD in political science at New York University. So it was a bit of a tough decision, actually, to try to figure out whether European PhD programs or American PhD programs would be sort of the best fit. And I was lucky I had a very good advisor in Oxford who sort of listened to what I wanted to do with my PhD, which is I very much want to be involved in academic research in the future as well. And he told me that I'd have the greatest amount of options if I did a PhD in the US versus Europe. So American PhD programs are sort of attractive for a number of reasons. So one is that they tend to be a bit longer than the Danish and European PhD programs. So most US PhDs will be 5 years long, which means they include an automatic master's. So in the first couple of years, you do more coursework, and that sort of counts as a master's degree. And then in the later years, you get to actually write on your dissertation. That also means that you have more time to develop like a good dissertation project in collaboration with the very intelligent, smart faculty members at your department. So that's really nice. If you study at a good university, at a well-renowned university, you usually also have a bit more resources. So resources to go to conferences, resources to conduct the research that you want to, and also just the network and the kind of people that you talk to are a lot sort of like bigger than if you study at a smaller university, at least in Europe. For doing a PhD in the US, you need a couple of different materials. So one is they usually want you to take a test, sort of a general aptitude test, which involves language and some math skills. And you have to schedule them a bit in advance. So they're called the GRE. And most universities, when you apply for sort of graduate level programs, require you to have that. You need letters of recommendation, preferably from academics, so from a professor at your home university who sort of like knows you well and know what you're sort of capable of intellectually. You usually also need a research statement. It differs a bit from PhD processes or PhD applications in Europe, that this research statement is usually not particularly long and detailed. So you need to sort of like talk about what you're interested in, what type of question you would like to answer, and what kind of faculty members are at the department you're applying to that you would like to work with. But these sort of like super detailed, long literature reviews that a lot of the PhD programs in Europe require are not really necessary. Sometimes they also want writing samples, so something that you've written to sort of see what kind of work you're interested in doing and what kind of work you're currently sort of able to do. So it's quite lengthy. So I think maybe my best tip for particularly sort of Danish students who want to study abroad in the US and doing a PhD there is to be very aware of this sort of letter of recommendation and how important those are. So I think maybe in Denmark we have a bit of a culture of being a bit withdrawn and being very sort of more reluctant to praise people. And as far as it's possible, you have to tell the sort of like people who are writing letters of recommendations for you to sort of like go all out. This is not the place where they have to be sort of a bit reluctant to give you praise. You know, if you're doing something well, like they need to tell you, because you're competing for these PhD spots with students from other universities where the professors have no reluctance to sort of like dole out the praise for their good students. So that's definitely the tip.